out from the past, living in the future I created. Now, own an air minute, I'm in at a G. My NFT drop, you with that energy, stop. At all costs, I will protect funeral line the effect from the blast that I emit. I don't miss. I'm unfolding. Rise up, king. I'd rather build or destroy.
Welcome to the Joe Pavich podcast. I'd like to thank my sponsors, First Source Title and Above and Beyond Painting. You can find my show on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, pretty much anywhere. JoePavichPodcast.com as well. So if you're looking to be a sponsor on the show, let me know. And today, I'd like to introduce my guest, Jill Bellestri. Jill's an amazing person, a super mom, with an autistic son, Alexander. I'm going to share her amazing journey. Jill's, autistic son, Alexander, has had success in life, and it has fueled her fire to drive her to be a voice. Jill owns Naples Spelling to Communicate, also a founder of Thinking Mom Revolution, and we have a special guest today. And meet Alexander. How great is that? Jill, great to see you. How are you?
Hi, Joe. I'm doing good.
You look great today, Jill.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Great. Hair looks great today.
Thanks. Your hair looks good, too.
Jill, when you're Italian, you say good hair.
Good hair.
Good hair.
Good hair.
Right. That's right. So tell me a little bit about, autism, and let's start with that. Autism in general, the spectrum. I want the viewers to learn a little bit more about that.
Mm-hmm. So I feel there's a bit of a misconception with autism. People will refer to people with autism as an intellectual disability. And over the years, my son is 24. So when I found Spelling to Communicate, I always knew that cognitively he was in there. But through spelling, it just kind of confirmed that Alexander does and all kids with autism understand everything that's going on around them. It's not a cognitive disability. It's a neurosensory disability. So a lot of people feel that the kids don't understand anything, and through spelling, it's number one is presuming competence. All these kids with autism, everyone should be presuming competence. Yeah.
Jill, I remember you telling me a story before about he's in there. You 100%. Want to be able to communicate with him, right? That gave me the chills to hear that, because it took a long time for that to happen, right?
Yeah, I always knew he was in there, and I used to tell him even when he was little. I was like, I know you're in there. I'm going to find a way to get you out.
Yeah.
Took a long time, but we did it. But even through those years, I always treated him as I would treat anybody. I didn't see the disability. It's there. It's clearly there.
Sure.
Let's face it. Autism, there is a disability, 100%. But as far as what he understood everything. So I spoke to him like I would speak to anybody.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear more about it today.
Yeah.
Really, it's really special. So when you look at the spectrum, so explain the spectrum to me. How would like Alexander, for example, is there a certain part of the spectrum that he's in, or how does that work?
So when he was, when we first found out that he had autism, it was very tricky. It was when the school, it was through our district. He was 2.5, but you had to go through the school district to get a diagnosis. And they just said he has autism. So then they send you to a psychologist. And the psychologist, we went to see him, and he was like, well, I think he has autism. It could be PDD-NOS, which is pervasive development disorder, not others specified. And he wasn't sure. But clearly he had autism. And I would say, looking back then, it was moderate. So it is a spectrum, like you said. There's mild to severe. You could even have Asperger's, which those are your highly functioning people who, they say a lot of them work for NASA.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. And then there's, the severe, profound autism, which is really serious. I mean, these kids are, they don't speak. They are banging their heads. They're self-injurious. They elope. It's very scary. It's frustrating. They don't sleep. I've always felt for those parents. I just, there's so many amazing parents that I know. How they deal with that on a daily basis is just, it's beyond me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's your son for a reason, right? You're a great mom, great person, and, I'm sure he's made you a better person through the years too. And
1,000%.
when you look at life,
yeah,
there's your problems, or somebody else would love to have your problems, right?
Yeah.
And it goes down and down and down into whatever your problem is, right?
Yeah.
So on that spectrum, so mild would Asperger's be sort of getting into the mild?
It's you go from Asperger's to severe.
Okay.
So Alexander was, the diagnosis was mild to moderate, which I would agree with. If you're looking at from the medical community, how they would view him, again, I know he's in there. He's cognitively aware of everything.
Sure.
It's just he has a body. It's that brain. It's apraxia. It's a brain-body disconnect. I use the example, and Alexander wasn't one of them, but kids who elope, their bodies will just run off. Their brain is saying, stop, I don't want to do this. But their body keeps going. Or Alexander, I'll give you this scenario. He loves to bike ride. My husband and him, they bike ride all the time. But there's mornings where he's like, no bike ride, no bike ride, no bike ride. But I put a letterboard in front of him. Please coach my body to the bike. I really want to go on the bike. I mean, that is unbelievable. And that is something that I wish all parents knew.
Sure.
Like your kids, and I can speak to this because of my son, what comes out of their mouth sometimes is not what they mean to say. Alexander has told me, sorry, I'm going to swear, but he has spelled everything that comes out of my mouth is shit. I was like, okay. So that's why I'm so grateful for spelling. It changed our lives.
Yeah.
Because before I might have been, even though I knew he was in there, he may have said, no bike ride, no bike ride. I would be like, oh gosh, he doesn't want to go. And now I put a letterboard in front of him and he's like, no, I want to go on the bike. Coach my body to the bike. So then we're literally like, put your eyes on the bike. Walk your feet to the bike. He gets on the bike. I mean, I think they did last year like 5,000 miles or something like that.
That's impressive.
Yeah. But again, if I wouldn't have had spelling, it was like, oh, he doesn't want to go on the bike. And so many of the kids, it's not just my son. I believe this for all these kids who have autism.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's even shows now. Love on the Spectrum, is it called? The reality show.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. So many people have
Yeah.
talked to me about it, but I have not seen it.
It's good. I've
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
We're reality show junkies in my house. We watch all reality shows. That's
you
for sure. The problem, Jill, in my house, though, is I get 11 o'clock is like my cutoff, right? Because I get
Yeah.
up early.
Right.
Sometimes my wife's cutoff is, a little bit later, midnight sometimes. So she might get an episode ahead of me.
Yeah.
And then the next night I'm one behind. And then the
yeah.
next night I'm two behind. So sometimes, Jen's got to watch a show twice. And that's just the way it goes.
I know. It's marriage.
But check it out. Check it out. Are you and Ron into shows? You guys watching?
We are, but some of them he doesn't like that I like. But he'll muscle through.
Speaking of shows, this weekend my wife and daughter are out of town. So I'm going to take Jakey out,
Yeah.
a little guy. And he's a movie guy.
Oh,
So we're going to
good.
go to the movies.
What are you going to see?
I don't know. Mission Impossible, maybe, or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Tom Cruise.
2.5 hours. It's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's like the Titanic.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
It's
let's
long.
just get it over.
It's long. It's long. So take me back to the moment, right? You're in the beginning. You're talking to your doctor. I think you told me your doctor said he's okay, right? And it sort of gave you hope, but you just knew
Yeah.
that wasn't the case, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. So when he was a baby, I kept taking him for his well baby visits, and they kept telling me, you have a healthy, happy baby. And I'm like, well, okay, but as he got older, when I say older, I mean like 1 year old, I'm like, he's not talking. That was a big concern for me. And they said, well, it's normal. Boys sometimes talk later. I don't know if it was Albert Einstein didn't talk till he was 3. It's fine. And then he kept getting eczema and ear infections. And my pediatrician kept telling me, that's normal. So there were all these red flags. And, as a new mom, and I was working at the time, so I was working, we were building a house. It was a really busy time. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to trust my doctor. She's a doctor. She knows what she's doing. And so healthy, happy baby. Finally, at 2 years old, I'm like, he's still not talking. Still was being told he's a healthy, happy baby. So until it took, as I said before, that school psychologist to sit me down in a room and say he has autism, why wouldn't my pediatrician know that?
Yeah.
To me, that's shocking. Like, our pediatricians need to be better educated. To me, that was just ridiculous. I mean, all the red flags were there. They didn't even see the red flags. Today, for me, as somebody who knows autism and is experienced with it, I can spot a kid. I can spot those red flags like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you would think your doctor would know, right? I mean, that's always a big thing. I
You
remember as a
would
kid,
think.
your doctor whatever
Yeah.
he said was gold, right?
yeah.
And-
I mean,
and,
I didn't know. And I know it's taboo to talk about, but the vaccines definitely played a role with my son. 100%. The more he was a slow progression. The more vaccines, the more he kind of descended into autism. By the age of 2, he was completely gone. I mean, I went back through videos and pictures and everything of him. I mean, he was developing normal. Never had the speech. I mean, he had the babbling, he had the mama, dada. We never had that language, but he was meeting milestones besides that one, and they were telling me he was, happy and healthy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When your kids are young, I remember Joey was 2 or whatever it was, and that's always they ask you how many words does he say, and
Right.
and that's always a big thing. And I
Yeah.
always wonder because some like Einstein
Yeah.
didn't talk till he was say words until he was 3, right?
Yeah.
So that's always a big question. I wonder about that, like because some kids are just late talkers. Maybe
Yeah.
they have siblings. Maybe they're maybe
Right.
it's just they don't want to talk or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
that was always a fear. I remember going to Joey's first appointment at not at first, but where
Right.
they're starting to look into the
Yeah.
developmental things.
I like how they call them well baby visits. Do I
Yeah.
really need to take my kid to a pediatrician to tell me that they're well?
Yeah,
No, you're taking them so they can vaccinate them.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
So I was thinking about that in the beginning, and then all of a sudden he started saying a few words, and then he said a full sentence, and the sentence was, "You're effing killing me," to us. He somehow heard that
Not
in
from
the house,
you.
not from me.
No. Or I'm sure not from your wife.
Could have been the wife, but that was a point where we realized I think he's okay.
Yeah.
He kind of laughed it out.
That's
But he didn't know
hilarious.
what he was saying, and he was in our closet, and we said, "All right, get out of here." And he says, "You're effing killing me." But he said the real word. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
That's so funny. But it's funny because it wasn't even just the language. I was also told that ear infections and eczema was normal. How can that be normal?
yeah,
That makes zero sense to me. And I later learned like ear infections, that's just the body's way of trying to get like the toxins and the stuff out of the body.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it goes. Like
Sure.
through the skin and the ears, that's the first pathway that happens with. And my pediatrician kept telling me, "Oh, it's normal." I mean, we literally had an ear infection or double ear infection every other month.
yeah,
And I was told it was normal. That's the one thing that frustrates me the most. Stop telling these parents that your kid's not speaking or ear infections or eczema is normal.
yeah.
It's not normal.
One of the things you said that intrigued me a little bit was you can spot it out
Oh, 100%.
on someone else. It's got to be hard though, right? Because you remember when they were telling you and you didn't want to know that was the truth. You were in denial in the beginning, I'm sure, right? How hard would it be, though, like if a parent doesn't really recognize the signs and you kind of know, you can't really say anything because you don't know how they're going to respond, right?
I've been in situations like that where it was actually even with a family member, and I can talk about this because she wouldn't care. But my niece's daughter, I seen every red flag, everything. I had picked her up from somewhere, and she was sitting in the car with me, and I was talking to her, and she wasn't paying attention to anything I was saying. She was paying attention to objects, flashy lights or anything like that. I was like nothing to her. And I said, I really think you need to get her checked. I said, hey, look, if she's not on the spectrum, great. If she is, there's stuff that we can start doing immediately to help her.
Mm-hmm.
And, and she did. And to this day, like, my niece is like thriving and she's a cheerleader and
Where is
she's doing
she at
great.
on the spectrum?
She's not on the spectrum.
Okay, all right.
Because, again, autism is medical.
Yeah.
So she just started treating her. Like, you look at the symptoms and you start treating that. She stopped vaccinating her. Sorry, I know. Big taboo subject, but it's real. Yeah.
How did she respond when you said that to her?
I think because she knew everything that I was going through with Alexander and how I was just on a mission to heal him and make his life better, she took me seriously.
Yeah.
And honestly, she knew that I wouldn't just bring that up. I'm not just going to go up to a parent and say, hey, I think your kid's on the spectrum, because it's devastating. I would never devastate somebody like that unless I knew 100% what road that child was going down. Yeah. No family should ever have to. It's difficult. So if I can help a family and prevent it, I'm going to do it. I mean, like I said, she immediately stopped vaccinating her. She started feeding her, organic and healthy foods and doing all the things, to, I don't want to say stop her from getting that, but I mean, it's a toxic overload.
Well, you have a great relationship with your son, Alexander, and Ron.
I love him.
And it's your life,
It is.
It's a song. It's my life. Yeah, I forget who sang that song. It's my life.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi or something.
So many good things, but it's still so hard. Like I told you last night, he couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, Mommy, because he can communicate on the board. I'm sorry, Mom. But it's frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, even for anybody, not getting enough sleep is a problem.
Yeah.
So that's actually something that I'm trying to get more of because, that the kids are in summer school. They're not in school anymore. They got the summers. So I don't need to get up at 5 a.m. to work out. So I'm working out at 6 a.m. That extra hour of sleep, I feel so much better. Just that one extra hour.
Yeah.
2 extra hours might mess the whole day up. Jill, there's a story that we talked about, and I believe it might be in your book. I'm not sure. But your initial reaction when you found out, tell me about that dark moment. And by the way, the dark moments, I believe that they're good to talk about, right? Because sometimes we bury those moments deep within us, and they just grow over time, and we never want to touch those moments. But you've told me the story, and I know you've written about it as well. Tell me the story about what happened originally.
Yeah, I kind of think it's important to tell because I think, obviously, I'm not the only parent that has experienced this. So when he was first diagnosed, the official diagnosis, again, devastating. I know nothing about autism. All I know is, oh my gosh, my son's never going to be able to do all the, as a parent, when you have your kids, you're like, oh my God, they're going to do this and do that. I had his life planned out in my head. So I went to pick him up and I'm still in that devastation. Well, wait, let me back up. I dropped him off he was in like a preschool, like an element or the college that I dropped him off to, they had a daycare. I dropped him off. I went and I drove to this park where I have taken him to gosh, numerous times. Like, that's the park we went to. And it was pouring rain. I will never forget it. And I sat there and I cried for hours and hours and hours. And I was that lunatic person just screaming at God, why me? Why my son? I don't think I've ever felt that much pain. It was horrible. So then it was like, okay, now I have to go pick up my son. So I went and picked him up, and we drove into the driveway. I drove into the garage, and honestly, I was like, close the garage door. You can, I'm just going to say it, you can kill yourself. You can just end this. It's too much pain. And I looked back at him and that cute face, those big eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't kill myself, because if I kill myself, then who's going to help him? I have to be here for
Sure.
him. And I mean, but I was in shock that I even had that thought.
Yeah.
But I think so many parents do, because you think your life is over. And thank God that I didn't do that, because his life is just, it's amazing right now.
Yeah. So if you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you say?
Oh my gosh. It's like, you know what? Just breathe and find your resources. And, you know, I mean, we love our kids, but I mean, he's so amazing. I would have never done anything like that.
Sometimes
And-
those
yeah.
pressure, those moments,
Yeah.
I'm sure there was other things on top of that with maybe
Yeah.
Ron. How was?
Yeah. Well, you're
how was
afraid. You're afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was afraid of the unknown. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen to him? I was never told this, but so many of my friends of kids on the spectrum were told, you're just going to have to put him in an institution someday. And my friends who were told that, their kids are thriving.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go with your maternal gut instinct, you know?
Sometimes just stresses in life, no
Yeah.
matter what it is.
Yeah.
No matter what it is that you're
Yeah.
in, life, business, whatever, right? It could always be worse. But those situations that you're in, sometimes it all kind of comes at once.
Yeah.
I'm sure at that time it probably wasn't easy. What was it like with Ron and you, marriage in the beginning? Did it put pressure on you guys?
In the beginning, because I was falling apart, my husband stayed strong, and he was like, we're going to beat this. He put a sign on the back of our back door, like, push this button, we're going to have a positive day. And I mean,
Nice, yeah.
I mean, it was nice, because it was like, okay, I mean, here I am. I can't get off the couch.
Yeah,
And he's like, no, we got this. And I'm like, okay.
that's great.
All right. But it is challenging with your marriage. It's so challenging, because it's different. I mean, like I said, and then like about the sleep. My husband always said, it's always the night before I have a big meeting that he doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
So nobody would get any sleep. But even like, I don't want to say my son had tantrums. He never really did when he was younger. It was when we hit puberty. Puberty was hard with him. And I think I've told you, seizures kicked in. That's huge. So it's really hard, because you're trying to manage we're trying to manage everything with our son, and I'm trying to help him, and getting with his doctors, what's going on, and it puts pressure on you. And then my husband had the pressure, so it's just added pressure, and again, the fear of the unknown.
Could you imagine if you had to do this alone without Ron?
No.
That would be tough.
No.
Without each, because it's the yin and the yang. You know what
It
I mean?
is.
Sometimes
And-
sometimes you could be so alike.
Yeah.
Which, we all fight with our spouses about things and
Yeah.
stuff, and sometimes they're the voice of reason, sometimes they're not. But
Yeah.
raising a kid
Yeah.
together, you guys are on the same page, and that
Yeah.
makes it great.
Yeah. The divorce rate for families with autism is 80%.
Is it really?
It's 80%.
Wow.
And I'm not picking on the men, because I know women do this too, but the majority, like, a lot of men can't take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know so many more single moms with kids on the spectrum.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I give a big shout out and kudos to them, because they're the real heroes. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's amazing. It's that high.
Yeah, 80%.
Wow.
And I understand why it is, because I'm surprised. I'm surprised we're not divorced. I mean, it's crazy. It's tough.
The power of a mom. Do not mess with the power of a mom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's my wife, definitely, we're different, but we're alike in a lot of good ways.
Yeah.
But I know that don't poke mama bear.
No.
Because, as strong as I am, those words are like snipers. Me and my daughter joke around.
Yeah.
I call my daughter and my wife verbal snipers because they will
100%.
snipe you. There's nothing you could do or say. They will get right. They will get right in there.
1000%.
Whatever armor you have on,
doesn't
they will
matter.
go right through it.
We're gonna hit you.
Verbal snipers, for sure.
I've never heard of that. I like
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna use that one.
So, as far as the seizures are concerned, so as he starts to go through puberty, seizures start to happen. So, what do you do at that point when there's a seizure?
Oh God. Well, actually, he just had one the other day. Oh, when the very first time he had one, I literally thought he was dead. It was horrific. So he has grand mal seizures, which no seizure is a good seizure, but in my opinion, I think that's the worst. So he had one. It was in October. Then he had one in November. Then he had one in January. This was back in 2014 or 2014. Then he didn't have a seizure for a year and a half. So I'm like, okay, we are good. We're seizure free. Well, then they started coming back. It was 2 a month. It's terrible, but my husband and I always knew. Like, we would see signs of, okay, we have to go on high alert, we call it. And, I mean, it's protocol. Lay him on his side and let him go. I mean, we do have things that we can give him to stop the seizure. There's a whole protocol for it.
Do those help?
It does help.
Worst case scenario.
It does help. And it's so interesting because just recently, it just happened this past week. He just turned 24. We had his birthday. We had so much fun. Went to the Hyatt at Coconut Point.
Nice.
Whole family came.
What
had a
date?
great time. It was May 30th.
Oh, okay. Jules is the 31st.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
One day apart.
So we were out to dinner, and he feels I'm coming on. He jumps up. He goes in late. We're in the middle of the restaurant. And he lays down, and we're like, oh crap, he's gonna have one. So I had his nasal spray on hand, gave him that. But no, seizures are the worst. And I'm still like, this week I have been like, okay, what have I done different? What can I do? What do I do? And I ask him on the letterboard, I'm like, what's going on? And he spells to me. He's like, I'm not sure. That came out of nowhere. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Because there have been times where he has spelled, I'm feeling a seizure coming on. I need help. But the last few ones he's had, that hasn't happened. So.
He's a big. Alexander's
big guy.
He's what, 6'2", maybe.
He's like 6'2",
probably
200.
200. Yeah.
Yeah, he's solid.
He is.
He's solid.
So like trying to move him around, I'm sure
Oh yeah. Well, this last one he just had, I was with it was me and Christy. You met Christy, and he got up. We were on a Zoom. He was on a Zoom call. It was so fun. He was Zooming with one of his classmates he had went to high school with, because his friend was graduating high school and wanted to go to college. So he wanted to get the college perspective from Alexander. So they were having a conversation, which was so cool. And all of a sudden, Alexander stood up and laid on the floor. And I just looked at Christy. I'm like, here we go. I ran over. I just ran to him. He was on his side. She ran and got the nasal spray we have. And she's like, do I give it to him? I'm like, no. I'm like, let him go. She's like, how do you stay so calm? I'm like, I've been through enough of them. And then he was fine.
Yeah.
He was fine.
How long does one, what's the longest one?
Well, for him, everyone's different, but his average, about a minute.
Okay.
And sometimes,
longest minute of your whole life.
It is. Well, sometimes he turns very gray and it looks like he stopped breathing. And sometimes he just kind of keeps breathing and his eyes, it's horrific, but.
Yeah. I've seen them before, and it's definitely scary, to see it for sure.
Yeah.
Does a nasal spray do anything weird to him afterwards?
No.
Okay.
No.
I wasn't sure if there was like a side effect or it makes him tired or something. Yeah.
No,
Heart rate go up.
It's so funny because sometimes he's tired right after, and sometimes he jumps right up, and he's like ready to go.
Yeah.
He was actually that night he was supposed to get on his he has a Zoom call with all his speller friends, and we're like, do you want to get on Zoom with all your friends? And he was like, he spelled, no, I just need to rest. And we're like, okay.
Yeah. What's that like? I mean, that must be a good moment for a mom, where you get in groups and you start developing friends.
Yeah.
And he starts developing friendships.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, I don't know what I would do without my network of mom, friends. I mean, we always say it's a club that we never wanted to join.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing. Because like you said, the mama bears, oh my gosh, it's like you do not mess with your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, these moms are out. And again, a lot of them have been told your kid's going to be institutionalized. And I am friends with amazing moms who are like, I don't accept that. I'm going to help my kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure they live this, live their best life.
That's right.
So
That's awesome.
yeah. And Alexander, you talk about the peers and stuff, like for him and his friends, they want those friendships. Like you look at a person with autism and they might be flapping or doing all this weird stuff, but they're in there, as I keep saying.
Yeah.
They want friendships. They don't want to hang out with their parents. What kid does?
That's pretty special.
Yeah.
I would imagine that'd be a really, really cool moment.
Yeah.
In the beginning of this whole process, one thing I wanted to kind of go back to was you started trying to find resources in the beginning, right? Hard to find them.
Yeah,
Internet,
especially
with
back
insurance
in my day.
and everything. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, back he's 24,
Yeah.
24. So, geez, I mean, you're talking in 2001.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, I'm trying to think of what year the internet became a big deal. People were like starting to get on and surf the internet.
Yeah.
And they would spend hours
Right.
surfing,
Yeah.
just looking up random things. But like trying to find resources back then had to be real difficult.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Again, when he was diagnosed, I thought, oh my gosh, our lives are over. But then I think it was through like word of mouth or something, or somebody told me like, well, there's these parents and they've recovered their kids. And I'm like, oh, he can get better. So there was a support group and I joined that and I met parents and I saw their kids who were once non-speaking, now speaking and doing well. So I went towards the parents that were not going to just lay down and be like, oh my God, my life is over. I went towards the parents that were like, no, we're going to fix this.
Yeah.
So then that was my mentality.
Didn't
It's
you
always been
travel?
my mentality.
I remember hearing stories. You traveled quite a bit, right? To
Yeah.
join different groups.
Yeah. Well, I always went to autism conferences where I met different parents, and then I would hear speakers, people who had autism. Temple Grandin, she's big in the autism world. I think when he was first diagnosed, I went and saw her speak. I remember it was in Toronto, and we got there on a Thursday night. The conference was on the weekend, and we were out to dinner, and I looked at my husband. I was like, oh, there's Temple Grandin. I'm like, I got to go talk to her. And he's like, are you crazy? What are you going to do? You're just going to walk up to her? I'm like, yeah. Like a celebrity would not impress me. Temple Grandin impressed me. I was like, I have to go talk to her. So I went up to her and I said, hey, I'm Jill Bellestri. My son just got diagnosed. He's 3. What can I do to help him? And she said, always keep him busy. Always keep his mind. It's almost like we say now is spelling to communicate, feed the brain.
Yeah.
She's like, always keep him busy. She was just giving me so much advice. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
starstruck by her. So yeah, I kind of went towards people like that, read books and read, parents who had healed and recovered, but I'm just going to say, improve their child's quality
Sure.
of life. So yeah, I just went that route. That was my route.
That was a good route.
Yeah.
'Cause you're able to communicate with him, and he's developed friends, and you have groups, and now you got
Yeah.
books and businesses to help people. We'll talk about the business in a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as like moms or parents, dads, moms that have kids that they're not sure, like what would be their steps to like get the right help or speak to the right people?
You mean not sure if their kid is on the spectrum?
That's correct. Yeah, maybe they're either in denial or they just don't know, or they just want to maybe they don't trust maybe the current doctor they have, and they want to get in the right hands. What direction would somebody go?
I always direct them into or to the doctors that I know what they're doing, and it's their I hate to say specialty, but that's where I direct them.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a whole network that I know of doctors who have been treating our kids for years. So I direct them to those resources.
Yeah.
People who know that their kids can get help.
Yeah, that's great. Well, that's great information, because you just want to get talking to people that maybe you trust, because that's what it's all about. I mean, no matter what it is, whether it's in my business or your business, it's all about trusting people, right? When people
100%.
come to you for your business, they trust you.
Yeah.
So let's hear about this business.
So I got involved with this because I saw that Spelling to Communicate, how it changed my son's life. So once it changed his life, I was like, wow, I need to help other parents, other people with autism change their life. That's one of the first things my son even spelled is, I want to help other kids like me be able to communicate.
Wow.
So once he said that, and plus it was like, I have to be able to communicate with him. So I learned how to do it. Then I went and got certified as a practitioner. And that was kind of my goal. I was like, I want to help other families. Because as a mom, I understand. I know what it's like when you cannot communicate with your kid. There's nothing more frustrating. Like you and I were talking about the seizures. I mean, for him to be able to communicate on a letterboard, I feel a seizure coming on. I need help. Or my stomach hurts, or this hurts, or my head is hurting. Or if he's having a moment of huge anxiety, and we were going to go down to Naples for the Christmas parade, and he was really amped up. And we put the board in front of him, and I'm like, what's going on? And he said, I have a lot of anxiety to be in crowds. And I was like, okay, well, I'm bringing the board with me. If you're anxious, you can tell me and we can leave. As soon as he was able to communicate that to me, his anxiety went away. We went out to dinner. We met family. We were downtown. It was crowds, and he had a good time. We all had a good time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is just so amazing, and I think every family should have that.
Do you think there's families out there that don't know about the spelling board that could communicate with their kid that don't have the resources or know about the boards?
Yes.
It's life. I mean, I feel like it would be life-changing for someone to be able to do that. I mean, it changed your life.
It is life-changing. I always use the analogy. So if your child is deaf, you would learn sign language, right?
Yeah.
So kids with autism, or like my son, his communication is his speech is so unreliable. He's considered an unreliable speaker. But you drop a letterboard in front of him, and he's communicating with you. So, and a lot of the times I think these kids are so frustrated because, again, I go back to they are cognitively in there and they understand everything. But imagine you have no way to communicate. How frustrating would that be?
For sure.
Like if you're in pain and you can't communicate that, you're going to look like a crazy person, you know?
Yeah.
So it does. It changes life. So I was like, gosh, every parent should be able to do this. That's
a great analogy, by the way.
Yeah.
That should be the maybe the motto. Maybe that's what you put on your sign.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good point.
Yeah.
The spelling board. So basically, it's a series of different letters that he can communicate. He touches each letter to communicate with you, right? Like talking, but he's touching.
Yeah.
How many types of letterboards are there?
Well, there's a whole protocol you go through, because remember, it's a neurosensory motor issue. So speech is motor. That's why so many of our kids have a problem with speaking. So when you give them the motor, you teach them that motor skill of pointing to a letterboard, and you practice, it becomes automatic for them. But it's the boards. We use lessons to teach the motor skills so they become automatic for them to point to the letters. So you start off with because there's a lot of ocular motor involved also. So you start with three boards, stencils. Then you move to a 26 stencil board, and then eventually a laminate board, and then a keyboard. Like the end goal, at least for us, is a keyboard. You can connect it to an iPad and then just whatever they type in.
Okay, right to a computer. Oh,
Exactly.
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Will I be
yeah.
able to do that today? Communicate with him?
On the laminate.
Okay.
He has told us, which it's a little frustrating for me as a parent. I'm like, can we start working on the keyboard? And he's like, no, I prefer the laminate right now. I just want to focus on college.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's I know, college, right? After all those years, me being told he's never going to. So
that's amazing. Let's talk about the academic side of things. So the proud moment. Tell the audience.
Yes.
How that worked.
So I'm going to go back to preschool, believe it or not.
Go back.
So he's in preschool in our home school district. And I know out of district, there is a much better program. And so I go to my home district and I'm like, look, I want to move him out of district. And they're like, well, you can't do that. So hired an attorney and had a big meeting with the school, their attorney, and they're like, we're not going to move him. And I'm like, all right. So I looked at my husband, I'm like, we need, and I know this is out there a little bit, but I'm like, we need to buy a place in the other district so we have residency for him to go to that other preschool. I'm a little crazy, I know. So he went to that.
Mama Bear.
I know. So he went to that preschool, or he stayed in that district until second grade. And then it just really wasn't working out. I wasn't really liking what they were doing. So I was like, they kind of busted me. They're like, well, I think they asked me, I was in a meeting. They asked me for my driver's license, which had my other address. So I was like, yeah, that was not a good moment. So anyway, I moved him back to his home district, and then he was in third grade, and they were told, I was told he will never read. He has autism. And we had the classes like gym class and music and art, and they had him in the ASD specials. They separated the general ed from the ASD. And I'm like, why are you I'm like, you want to talk discrimination? I was like, it's gym class. What do you mean he can't go to gym class? So, it's just all this stuff I had to fight for him through elementary school. And
Things
then,
that you felt like he could do.
Well, they kept telling me
maybe
he
holding
can't.
him back a little bit.
He can't. All I heard was he can't do this, he can't do that. I had a really good network, and he had really good friends I loved his elementary school because the friends and the parents were amazing and they loved him. I had a parent call me one day and she's like, my daughter came home crying today because all the kids wanted to play with Alexander and one of the other little girls. At recess, they wanted to play in the swings, and the paraprofessional said, no, they have to sit here on the bench. Oh, yeah. That's not happening. That was not happening. There were so many incidents, and the academic piece was so hard. I always knew that he could do things academically. We just had to figure out how to teach him. I always knew. I don't know what it was in me. I just always knew that. So then we were now we're in sixth grade, sitting in the IEP end of the year. And I'm like, can we look at a graduation track for him? And they all looked at me and they're like, he can't graduate. I'm like, why? I'm like, why can't we try? Well, he has autism. I'm like, yeah, I know that. I'm not stupid. I live with it. So yeah, they told me that. I had left the room and the special ed director looked at my advocate. I always had to have an advocate with me. And she's like, what is wrong with her? Does she not realize? And my advocate was like, no, she is not stupid. She completely understands, but she's a mom who wants to try to, help her kid. Wouldn't you do that for your kid?
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what brought me to Naples.
That had to be so frustrating, by the way.
Well, stop telling me what he can't do.
Yeah, you're his mom. You know what he can do.
Yeah. And I know there's a disability.
Sure.
I get it. But I don't know. I was like, that's
You
why
you didn't want other people to hold him back
No.
from something that you knew he can do.
100%.
So then the big day comes around.
Yeah.
Right? The big graduation.
Yeah.
Tell me about the day.
Yeah.
I get the chills. hearing the story.
I had the chills that whole morning. So he had earned his, and again, he went to a school, eventually went to a school for spellers, did all his work on the letterboard. He graduated with an accredited high school diploma. And I remember just getting ready for that day. And I was overwhelmed with him. Like, I think I was like, wow, I always said we'd get here, and now we're here,
How did this happen, right?
I
mean,
was
it must
like,
have just been a world.
and then, everything kept replaying through my head. Like, I mean, all the
people said no.
From preschool to that third grade meeting of them telling me he can't read, and just everyone telling me he can't. And I don't know I still don't know what it was with me that I was like, yes, he can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never fought this hard for anybody in my life, not even myself. I don't know
Probably
what
had
it
to
was.
be hard to stand up and clap at the end. I'm sure you were probably lightheaded. And,
I think
mean,
was
I
just
can only
like,
imagine what that
I
would
was
have felt
just, I was
like. You don't.
cry-
You
I
know
was
he's
crying.
gonna be. You know he's gonna make it through the day, but you don't know if you're gonna be able to.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably. I would imagine
Yeah.
that's how.
It was
That's how I
amazing.
feel.
It was amazing. And then, I mean, like Joe, I mean, now he's in his second semester in college, in person.
It's amazing.
My kid who cannot control his mouth, who cannot control his body. How do you sit in a college classroom and you're participating? And we asked him, we had to ask him on the letterboard. I'm like, how are you doing this? Because he says, I can't control my mouth. He can't. He has so many verbal loops, he calls them, or his mouth just blah, 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 which you will see.
Yeah.
But inside, he's very calm and maintained. But he said, I've never felt more included and respected, and I want this so bad that it takes all his energy for him to sit quiet in that college classroom. But he's doing it.
That's really amazing.
I'm going to be honest. That's one thing I thought, gosh, we're going to have to do online. He's never going to do in person. So he shocked me. And again, I go back to the letterboard. That was all his decision.
Maybe that's his business. Maybe that's what he does. He helps others.
Yeah.
Step up their game.
Yeah.
So one of the interesting things that we talked about was, schooling and stuff. And you told me he didn't even have to get in any type of different classes. He's in regular classes, right? Not like maybe a special needs or anything like that, right?
No.
Which is, I mean, that's incredible.
Because
really
his whole elementary and
not that I would know, I wouldn't know, but
no, it was always he
I'm
has to
just
be in an
assuming.
ASD classroom. I always had to fight to keep him in Gen Ed. I'm like, he learns from his peers. He wants to be with his peers, and
He's the smartest kid in the room.
Yeah.
What's one of the hardest courses for Alexander in school?
So far, I don't think there is one.
Really?
No.
What's the easiest? Like, what's his favorite class?
And I don't know where this kid got this from, but he's a math kid.
Is he?
Like, he's taking pre-calc right now. And I got to tell you, I just, that blows my mind. I mean, and Christy, because, Christy is his CRP who goes to his classes with him. So he just had his first pre-calc test. And she texted me. She's like, oh, my God, he got a 72. And I'm like, that's great. I was like, awesome. I'm so proud of him. That's amazing. And then, we found out the mean in the class was like a 66%.
Wow.
So I'm like, he rocked it. I'll take a 72%
Heck yeah.
on a pre-calc test.
Remember that show on TV? Was it Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a certain point where you can no longer help your kids with school.
Yeah.
Even like my kid, Jake's, and he'll be going into sixth grade, No, 5th grade. Jules is in 8th grade. And at about 5th grade, it's just some of the stuff comes
Yeah.
back in. Hey, Dad, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
When they do math, they don't do math how we did. 8
Oh,
times
God.
8 is 64. 9
Yeah.
times, they break it down and they do all this weird stuff. It's kind of a
Yeah.
little hard to figure out, even though
Yeah.
I can spit it out. But on paper,
Yeah.
it's just weird the way they do all this stuff. So
I wouldn't
he
even
lost
know.
you a long time ago.
Oh,
you
God.
you can't help him with
He
anything.
surpassed me. I mean, and it is harder. It's a almost 2-hour long class, which has been a little challenging for him because again, it takes so much energy for him to try to control his body.
Yeah.
So a couple times, he has spelled. He's like, "Look, I'm getting a little anxiety. Can we go in the library instead?" I'm like, "You do what you need to do.
Yeah.
You're here." So
It's great.
yeah.
Tell me about the speech, the retirement speech for your husband.
Oh yeah, that's when he was still, oh gosh, how old was he? I don't even remember, like maybe 10. And he actually gave my husband's retirement speech.
Wow.
Again, he had his paper, and again, remember, I was told he's never going to read, and he read it to everybody. I mean, there wasn't like a dry eye in the room.
I mean, I could almost get teary-eyed hearing
No.
the story. Just now, I could imagine being
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, he's so sweet.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Would you ever thought you'd be in this spot today?
I always thought we were going to be in a good spot. I just didn't know what it was going to look like.
Yeah.
I always knew, that he would be able to communicate. I still have goals that someday he won't use a letterboard.
Yeah.
That he will be able to actually speak and not need that. I mean, that's still my goal, and that he lives independently and he has a job. And again, people will look at me and say, "She's crazy. He has autism.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to be able to do that." And I'm like, well, I don't know. Everyone told me we wouldn't be doing what we're doing now. So
Wow. What an inspiration you are as a mom. And Ron, and both of you guys, and Alexander, what a star,
yeah, he is the star.
We're going to meet him in a second. But, it's just amazing. And I got to say, today has been really like an inspirational day. I think a lot of people out there will watch the show and really feel inspired by it. And you've gone from a tough spot to now helping people to, figure out what they need to do. And you got your own business now involved in that.
All
so
these kids.
I think it's awesome.
I mean, communication is a right in all these kids and people on the spectrum, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Verbal or letterboard or however they communicate. Sure. Yeah.
Well, let's bring him in.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. How exciting, Jill. I got Christy.
Hi.
Naples Spelling to Communicate. It's communicator for Alexander. Alexander, how you doing? Nice to have him here. Nice to have you here today. So this is pretty exciting. Hair looks good today, by the way. He's got good hair.
He does.
Alexander's got good
Great hair. Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think about this place, Alexander? I'm excited to be with you.
And go ahead. And B and go ahead. T and H and S and O. Keep going. P and.
And then we're going to do a tail on the spelling.
And T. Keep going. And look. And. Go ahead. T and O and S
Okay, guy, we're gonna.
and A and I love this opportunity to share.
Oh, nice. You got great handwriting, by the way. Alexander, your mom was saying algebra, right? Algebra, and now pre-calculus. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Hey, Bo, come on. Time to get up. Stop.
And L and
stop.
I. Keep going.
Let's go.
K and
Go.
He's
I
imitating me.
T
Go.
and
Hey, guys.
B and look for it. U and
I always call him
T.
Rich
Use
Little.
hands for
He
it.
has everybody's
No.
voice down
Does
to a
he?
pat. He can imitate anybody.
Can he really?
Oh, it's
I want
amazing.
to talk to you.
D, and up, and E, and S. Keep going. And up, and T. It's okay. I like it, but Christy does not. It's not that bad.
Love it.
So this is what I was talking to you about, communication regulation partner.
Yeah.
So that's also
We're gonna do
part of
Tyler on the
it
spelling.
too, is everything that he's going through right now. And Alexander, I know I can speak for you because you've given me permission to explain this. So this is that brain-body disconnect where it's he wants to sit very quietly right now, but his body is not cooperating with him. So Christy's job is to help him stay regulated through the process also. This is what we call a body engager. So he's able to, if you give another motor task for them to do, it helps with the regulation piece also.
Okay.
Anything else, Christy, did I miss?
So basically what is coming out of his mouth is an automatic. It's not things that he's thinking. You know, we all think and then say.
Yeah.
His is just automatic. It's like a loop. So that's why he says, don't listen to my mouth. And it's very hard to do, to hear someone speak and not listen to them.
Sure. So, Jill, let me get some words from the wise, from the super mom.
Oh, God. Super mom and wise. Wow. Using me in that category. But anyways, here's my biggest thing with these kids. Presume competence. I did from day one when he was 3. Knew he was smart, knew he understood me. You're going to have a lot more challenging days, maybe, throughout this journey. But I feel like in the end now I have so many more good days with him. It's hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's hard. It takes a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice. And I made that decision. My husband and I made that decision for our family, for our son. And he is doing well, but we still have challenges. But, find your group, kind of find your tribe.
Yeah.
Get in with parents who kind of have the same mindset as you do, and kind of do your research. Parents are the best, I feel it, who to go to. Like, I looked for parents who were having success with their kids, and I kind of went down that path, chose to go down that path. And it's hard. I don't want to sit here and say it's super hard. Like, we still have challenges, but it's like, okay, just, you know what, we're going to get up and we're going to, it's a new day and we're going to have a good day. Alexander will have a struggle. Again, he didn't sleep last night and he's like, I'm so sorry, Mom. Sorry about the sleep. And I'm like, it's okay. We're going to have a good day.
Yeah.
Well,
that's great.
Yeah.
And that's great words from the wise. It really is, because
Yeah.
it's the final thoughts and sort of our recap for today is that you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
It's all about mindset, and it's
Yeah.
also about believing in your son,
Yeah.
Alexander, because you knew
Yeah.
his capabilities.
I did.
So sometimes people say no, right? They tell you no.
You hear more no's.
And sometimes you buy the no, right? You listen to
Yeah.
the no, and the no just takes you down a little bumpy road, right?
Yeah.
When you believe in the yes and you think you can do it, right? Power through it. And not all situations are going to be this way, but in your case you did.
Yeah.
You said, I'm going to go down this path, which was a bumpy path too. It was not
100%.
It's very difficult, to do,
Yeah.
what you've done.
Yeah.
And,
And-
you believed in yourself, you believed
Yeah.
in him.
And I really and truly, it was always for me too, is just my relationship with God.
Yeah.
I talk to him every day, like, please. I mean, I think God played a huge role
Yeah.
in this. I do. I believe in that. I believe
Yeah.
in the power of prayer. I believe in miracles from God. I mean, even when I said, in my brain, I'm like, he's going to live independently someday and he's going to do this. But I'm like, that's up to God.
Yeah.
And I think God gives us miracles. So
Prayers can move mountains.
100%. And they have for us. So
when you have kids, and this is the evolution, right? It's like, the people that don't have kids, this show, and if they watch it in 10 years,
yeah,
the show will mean something different because we'll do anything for our kids, right?
Right.
So it's like you want to be the best mom, dad. You want to raise the best kids. You want them to look up to you, and that's what it's all about. But it's all about just staying positive, really, and believing in what you believe is true.
Yep. And
It's not
surround
easy.
yourself with those people.
It's not
You got
easy.
to surround yourself with the positive people and the people who are going to uplift you. I mean, you can be having a really bad day, but I can pick up the phone and call one of my friends, and they're going to make a joke, and okay, now we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Positivity is definitely contagious. Sometimes negativity can be, it can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Even on a normal day, when people are negative, it's easy to just complain, right?
100%.
But to stay where you're at and just keep going and
Yeah.
keep pushing, and now helping people with your business. Not I'm saying new, but your business.
Yeah.
And maybe when Alexander graduates, maybe he's got something here with this,
Yeah.
with all this. So, pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Really a great message for people, and it's all about just believing in what you believe in. And when you do, you gotta hit the gas pedal and not let anybody take you down the wrong path. You do what you do.
100%.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Joe.
Great day today. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode with Jill Bellestri. You can find this episode on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, the Joe Pavich Podcast.com. And if you want to be a sponsor, there's some opportunities out there for you as well. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Above and Beyond Painting, First Source Title, and Jill, if you could tell the audience where to find you and find more information, go ahead.
We're at naplesspellingtocommunicate.com, and we are on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you will see these reels on your channel pretty soon. So
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. But great show. Thanks again.
Thanks, Joe.
Rise up, king. I'd rather build or destroy.